Podcast meeting.
Podcast meeting.
Podcast meeting.
All right, fuckers, what are we doing today?
I have an idea for an episode about the history. Let's say the history of dicks.
I feel like
I
we've
don't
done
think
something like that.
Yeah, I don't think we've done that already, right?
All right. Well, what are you thinking?
History of butts?
We did a history of butts already. I'm pretty sure.
Did we?
Well, if not,
Oh, with Jackie Stallone.
yeah.
Wait, I got one.
Okay, what?
Boners.
Okay, you know,
So that's kind of
boners?
dicks, but
I feel
we could.
like we've really been
But
going.
dicks can be hard or soft. Boners are specifically
just-
hard
yeah.
all the time.
We've been going down the proverbial rabbit's hole.
There's a distinction.
Of we're always talking about the dicks, the butts, the balls, the boobs, and the boners. What if we switched topics and try to do, I don't know, something historical, like a historical context?
Hmm.
No, but okay. Here's an idea. Let's do something around, like, say there's like a current event or something, and we can do some sort of a meta context and relate it to like a previous
That sounds pretty
thing.
cool. What,
You know, like
yeah. Okay. What are we thinking?
fucking immigration stuff, maybe,
Okay.
or like like inflation,
All right.
or government overreach, maybe.
Okay.
Fucking never-ending wars, shit like
Is
that.
there something that maybe encompasses all those things that would be?
Let's just not do anything political. What about fucking what happened? What did we do last month? Right, like we all went and saw that movie, right?
Oh, the Odyssey?
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
Oh.
We should talk about Spider-Man.
Yeah,
actually.
fuck yeah. Because I really don't want to talk about anything to do with fucking Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey.
Yeah, that would be lame. Welcome back, Hoplites, to another episode of Delete Everything Podcast. Our giant wooden dick rolled right up to your city gates, waiting for you to bring it in, have a big-ass party, and drunkenly pass out, whereupon Riley, Drew, and myself will crawl out of a hatch, presumably in the balls, under cover of night, and impale you in your sleep with lost, forgotten, omitted, and deleted histories, and then you'll wake up from your haze and say, hey, thanks. I'm your intrepid captain, Patrick Wall, and by my side, always, my wonky-eyed navigator,
Riley Bowen.
and with us this week, rowing the ship from the shadows, strong as an ox, though misshapen and terrifying to look at, freshly unfrozen from a passing chunk of ice, Ooga Booga Bulby, ladies and gentlemen.
That's not a stool boy variant.
I do like
We did that last week.
in kind of the
Hello, greetings.
in sort of the Dungeons and Dragons-esque like party assemblage, like having him represented as an unfrozen caveman is a lot of fun.
Yeah, I've shifted. You know what? Stool Boy variation might come back in the future, but for now, I'm leaning into Ooga Booga Bulby.
That's the next album, is Stool Boy Variations.
For me.
Yeah.
This week, we are talking about the collapse of an age, a theory that was pervasive for decades as a major contributing factor, and exactly how accurate it is to attribute so much of the collapse to this one factor. But before we get into all that, a very quick thank you to anyone and everyone who took a moment of their time to leave us ratings, reviews, and comments. You have really outdone yourself this time. And if you are not one of those people yet, do us a favor, get on whatever platform you're streaming on. Are you guys both doing it? Riley and Drew are both pretending to jack their peckers.
Nope. Weren't doing that. He's made that up.
Can't prove it.
Get on whatever platform you're streaming on and just cram us full of stars. 5 stars, 20
Make
stars,
us C-stars.
100 stars. However many stars they will let you give us. Give us the stars. Also, if you're on Apple Podcasts,
Give us the stars.
I just want to give you the stars, baby. And pull them right out of the sky and give them to you.
I will conquer the stars.
If you're on Apple Podcasts, write us a review. Make it serious, make it funny, make it ominous. Whatever you want to do,
Make it sexy.
we're into it. We're into that too.
Actually, I kind of want an ominous one.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So get on
first
Apple.
person to give us an a review that I would consider ominous gets a free T-shirt. Not a Delete Everything T-shirt, but I got a couple that I can send to you.
I was about to say, are we designing T-shirts?
No,
What's happening?
Not yet.
If you are on Spotify, leave us a comment on the individual episodes. Get on right now. Get on right now and say, I listen to you do this dumbass opening every week. I wish I was over there pretending to crank my hog. Can you please get a fucking move on? Maybe don't use the profanity, because if you do, we will see it, but the rest of the world won't, because the Spotify Gestapo will get you.
Yeah, they fucking suck.
Yeah, be warned. Instagram.
Yeah, Spotify sucks.
Instagram at Delete Everything Podcast for corresponding photos for all of our episodes.
Every single one.
Yeah. Hey, Wonky Eyed Navigator, how you doing on that?
On what?
YouTube at Delete Everything Podcast for short videos of us being stupid assholes in the studio. And finally, patreon.com/Delete Everything Podcast if you want to listen to the episodes that all those stupid but hilarious videos come from. I think I got it all. Did I get it all?
Yep.
Sweet. Okay. Let's get into this because we've got a lot to cover today. I was going to do a different topic for Conspiracy Corner today, but I went through our list just to see like what was up there, because, you know, we have our long list and I'll periodically like throw, Conspiracy Corner, and then a little thing to know what I'm talking about. It's a long ass list, our long list. We call it our long list for a reason. And I found this one that I wrote like way back in the before times.
The long ago.
Yeah. And in
I
light,
fucking must mouth that. The long ago.
correct.
Still feel like it's gonna.
I'm leaving all of them.
In the before times.
And I'm cutting the throat clear.
What? No, keep it.
Nope.
Did you say nope too? Did we both say nope at the same time?
Yep.
Hell yeah. Yep. What?
That's my like personal end joke with you now.
No, you just remove all of the perfectly prescient throat clearing that I do.
Yeah, because you're so over the top with it.
I'm under the bottom with it. What do you mean?
if you play your cards right, you can't be.
Hey.
So in light of a certain recent blockbuster film, I decided to shelf the topic I was going to do for today's Conspiracy Corner
Spider-Man.
and do this one instead.
Really good movie.
I am referencing, of course, Super Troopers 3.
It hasn't come out yet.
It hasn't?
No.
Nah, damn. No, I'm talking about The Odyssey, because it actually lands right in line with this topic. And this is kind of like a reverse conspiracy theory.
Abe's Odyssey?
Good game.
That's a good game.
What'd you say?
Oddworld, Abe's Odyssey?
Oh, no. Not that one.
This is Raptor Farms. No? Anybody?
Oh, my God.
The Murdochans. Ah!
Why is this happening already?
Why is that such a good fucking impersonation?
That's a really good
Abe
Murdoch
from Oddworld.
Yeah.
This big face appeared. Yeah.
I mean, when they reboot it, you could probably do the
Crabs
voice.
and pyramids were turning up thin.
Did you ever play that, Patrick?
I didn't.
Fucking great game. I actually have that on my PlayStation right now. I'm like most of the way through it.
Yeah.
I played it a lot on the computer when I was a kid. And then there's Abe's Exodus. And then I think there's another one. They did a bunch of Oddworlds.
Yeah, I never-
Oddworld's cool.
I never played any of them.
Defunct Game World now, I think. But
Yeah, but very unique vibe.
very unique. Very cool. Oh, follow me.
Halo.
Hello.
Jesus Christ.
Get
Get it all out, buddy. Yeah, between the topic that I'm doing today and you doing that, everyone has already gotten off. Everyone is
Yeah?
sexually. They've all
Oh! Here's Abe from Oddworld having an orgasm. Ready?
stupid. All right, so we are.
That was a little Gollum coded.
We're reverse engineering it. We are kind of reversing a conspiracy theory, because this was more widely believed as a cause than it probably actually was. We'll get into this all in a second, right?
Is this topic the casting decisions for the Odyssey movie, or because Hollywood's too woke?
Yeah. Why was what was the rapper that's in that? The guy that's
Travis Scott.
yeah. That one. Why was
he in that?
I don't know.
Why was he in there? Because he's trying to break through into new forms of media. Obviously, Jesus. So, okay. First, let's set this all up, right? Because we are also going to go way back in the before times to do this episode. Back to the late Bronze Age, approximately 1500 to 1200 BCE, which we don't get that far oftentimes.
Everybody hop in the time machine. Jump, jump, jump.
Am I?
Yeah, you throw a sound effect in there. Here we are,
I'm just gonna-
1500s BCE.
Why is the
I'm just gonna put some
time
reverb.
machine playing the guitar riff from Guster's Satellite? Okay, we're back in 1500 to 1200 BC.
I'm just going to throw some reverb on your voice.
I just want to mention that our longtime listener, no time caller, Switchblade Jane, tenured professor, is actively on an airplane from Hong Kong to California right now, and she sent me a text somehow. I guess Chinese planes
have Wi-Fi, brother.
It's crazy. But she's in the great vastness between continents, and she sent me a text that was like, "Hey, I just heard Augusta mention on one of your episodes," and then she sent me her location. I was like, "Wow, you're my satellite," which I think is funny.
Yeah,
because she's in a plane, traveling like around like a satellite.
I don't get it. Okay, well, I'm really thankful.
I got an A+. She's a professor. She graded that joke A+.
Halfway through the first paragraph. Halfway through the first.
Oh, I'm sorry.
paragraph
Is this bothering you?
Like I said, we're going late Bronze Age, 1500 to 1200 BCE. Hopefully, you already know that BCE numbers count down to 0 instead of going up from 0. If you didn't know that,
you suck.
Maybe this isn't the podcast for you. Maybe it is. I mean, like the dick jokes are probably going to land, but some of the history will probably confuse and scare and potentially arouse you. So there is a lot to cover in this topic. Specifically, we are looking at the area of the Aegean Sea and the Eastern Mediterranean coast down into Africa in the late Bronze Age. So we've got a lot of scene to set, right? A lot of different major civilizations are going to be part of this. Systems of trade and government and bureaucracy, environmental disasters, natural disasters, so many things. So we're going to have to kind of like zoom in on a few specific things, but really look at the entire region as a whole as well, right?
This is actually 1500s specifically, or the 1500 BCE. That whole kind of Bronze Age coastline into Africa is sort of an adventureville.
Yeah, but I mean, it's also
this is like Vikings fucking zoom in on this shit, like early proto Vikings. There's a lot of different like weird Bedouin wars. There's like it's a whole seafaring fucking.
And 1500 is the beginning of a major civilizational collapse along that entire region. I chose this because we have all just recently seen the Odyssey, and there's a mention in the Odyssey about this theory that caused this collapse that really is
too many pig witches.
Yep.
There had too many witches that turned you into pigs.
That'll happen.
Too many Hispanic men that threw dogs off of cliffs.
You get that on these bigger jobs, you know.
So, okay, I want to start with a conventional explanation first, right? Because most people who have read or studied this to any degree will be familiar with this term, and anyone who saw the Odyssey will have also heard this while sitting in the theater for 3 hours, trying not to fill their socks up with their own piss after downing their 64-ounce cola. The Sea Peoples, right?
Like sea dash peoples?
Yeah, it's short for cunt.
I thought it was cum.
That? We don't say that word often on
No, it's not my favorite.
We don't say that a lot.
Not my favorite. It's,
Why?
I don't know. It's fun. I think it's a good descriptor word.
What if I say it in a British accent?
No, because I feel like the British overuse it. They use it like we use fuck, like, but like,
oi, cunt.
Yeah, or cock. I use cock a lot more than cunt.
I thought you didn't like cock.
Huh? We've talked about this.
You're not a big fan of cock.
But like the term, I think cunt is a good descriptor. Like if we talk about somebody who's a bit of a cunt, like that's a good descriptor word. But you could also say the same thing, like he's luditical or something, But like,
wow, yeah, of course, people use that word all the time.
Why is off? It's a good descriptor word.
It is. It's also a word that most people have never used before in their fucking life.
Okay.
That's good. You can make them feel stupid.
I'm sorry. Is this the context I'm trying to lay down? Not fit.
I'm just saying you're being too highbrow right now, man.
I think you're being a bit of a Luddite.
Yeah, I am admittedly
and
a
Luddite.
Cunt. And a cunt. So the SCA peoples. So during the years I mentioned before, 1500 to 1200 BCE.
That's 300 years.
The area, it is. It's exactly 300 years. Thank you. Oh, that was for you. Never mind. The areas spanning from Egypt to Anatolia, which is most of modern day Turkey.
Analholia?
Jesus, fuck. This is not going to work.
I'm not getting out of here by noon, am I?
Let's keep going. Come on.
It's 9:30.
He does that. And he's like
9:30 in the morning, and Drew's like, "There's no way I'm out of here."
Sorry, did I throw everyone off track by saying analholia?
Kind of.
Okay, get back on track.
I'm
I love that he does that and he's immediately like, come on, let's
I'm
go.
2 sentences into the third paragraph.
Comedy's a progressive, gotta clip along, you know?
No,
Just ignore my jokes. I'll make them. You go.
you're stepping on all my beats and then getting mad that
Don't bring
the
beats into the studio. I can start slipping on them.
I was thinking like Dr. Dre.
All these
Beats
beats
headphones.
rolling around on the floor.
I hate this episode.
We just started.
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay, I'm going to shut up for 5 minutes instead of time.
Not even possible.
Why don't you shut up for about 5 minutes?
Okay, I'm going to set a timer.
Okay, so I'm going to set a timer. Are you going to set an alarm? Is it going to go off while I'm talking?
No.
Are you lying to me right now? You're lying to my face.
No.
It will. He's totally going to do that. Okay, so the area spanning from Egypt to Anatolia, which is most of modern day Turkey, right? So you've got Mycenae in there, which is in modern Greece. You've got Cyprus, which is in the Eastern Mediterranean below down through Lebanon, parts of Syria, Jordan, Israel, Palestine, all the way down to Egypt, right? So basically from modern day Turkey all the way down the eastern coastline of the Mediterranean. That's the Levant, right? Which is where like modern day Lebanon, Syria, Jordan, I almost said Syria, and Israel and Palestine and all that, right? Egypt, Cyprus in the middle there, Mycenae, and all those Greek isles there to the west. Good? Got it?
I'm just thinking of all the jokes that Riley wants to make.
Yeah, there was a cereal joke,
Yep.
probably.
I'm sure he had something on deck for that.
There was something about turkey, like how delicious it is and how it makes him fat and sleepy.
I wish
This is fun. You should do this more often. I wish you guys could see Riley's face right now.
Gotta say,
He's so dejected. And he's got his lips pursed tightly.
He's dejected but smug at the same time.
Tightly pursed lips, trying not to just ejaculate some joke. I'm just teeing him up for him. All right. So these are all separate kingdoms, but they're not isolated, right? They're like by any stretch of the imagination, they are for centuries. They have like slowly become like inextricably interconnected via trade and diplomacy and arranged marriages and sort of this merging of kingdoms and exchanging of gifts and tributes and imports and exports. And like the kings of all these civilizations refer to one another as quote unquote brother. And there's some occasional warring that happens between them, but you know, brothers fight. So
all right now he would do
I had a brother and we fought.
No, or the haunted pizzeria thing. Brother, right? Isn't that from that?
No, don't put the meat in his head. Do not put the meat in his head. Riley, you can't be quiet for 5 minutes.
It's been 2.
Do you have a timer going too?
I'm watching your computer, the time on there.
Oh, I'm bored. Riley, what are you doing?
And this is why when Riley was traveling out of town, I always said, no, we have to figure out how to make it both of you.
It's fucking feast or famine with this guy today.
Oh, no, he'll explode in about 2 or 3 minutes. It'll all just, like you said, prematurely ejaculate all over the room.
Well, it's only premature if he does it before the 5 minute mark.
That's true.
I like that we did this so that we could be more effective in doing the podcast.
And now we're completely derailed.
Just doing.
We're talking about Riley.
Let's talk about Riley the whole time.
He's looking handsome today.
Yeah, he's all right.
He looks good.
The double glasses is kind of messing with me. He's got a pair of glasses on his face and a pair of glasses on his head.
I see the Riley underneath that.
So yeah, we know all of this stuff about all these kingdoms being interconnected because we have something called the Amarna letters from the 1300s BCE, right? These are clay cuneiform tablets found in Egypt that essentially catalog how frequently all of these kings are communicating. And it kind of explains how like civilized and diplomatic this area was at this time, right? They're constantly asking each other for gold. They're bitching about shipments that are delayed or that never show up. They're asking for military assistance. They're negotiating marriages. They're sending gifts to one another. They're even like extremely politely insulting one another sometimes.
That's fun.
Yeah, I mean, you think about this, you know, we're talking about 3,000 plus years ago. and you think about, I don't know, at least in my brain, when you think about it, you don't think of like
People basically being the same.
kingdoms, several kingdoms along like just miles and miles and miles of coast, spanning continents, being interconnected through trade and diplomacy and all this stuff. It seems like it was like more of a like, put your fucking helmets on and grab your swords and.
The island of Cyprus has a hill on it, and if you climb that hill, you go insane in the membrane.
You waited 5 minutes for that.
Yep.
Okie dokie.
I can't believe you didn't progress more than a fucking paragraph in that whole 5 minutes, though. You used the time that I gave you to just fucking zip through, and you used it just to talk about me not talking.
No, because then I'd get to
It's like, what's the point?
Then I'd get to the end of my notes, and it'd be a 45-minute episode. And we got to keep these people here for 2 hours.
Well, so you're saying that my interruptions actually are valuable.
I write my notes with the thought in mind that you will be interrupting me frequently.
There's a dynamic.
There is a dynamic, and it's important.
I think we all learned something.
Yeah, I learned that I actually quite enjoy not talking on this podcast. That was good. That was nice.
So again, this isn't like some primitive old world bullshit, right? Like the way I tend to think about, like just, I think about some shit from like,
A butt.
Late 30s and mid 40s people here. It's shit from a butt.
Like the Aegean and that part of the world especially is like massively heavy on trade and travel, interconnectivity. It's one of the big fallacies.
Well, so I think about like and again I'm going to sort of reference movies and all of this, but I think about like some shit like the movie Troy or the movie 300 or shit that happened after this.
Yeah. I mean, it's the traditional storytelling.
And I'm like, oh, well, that was pretty, Wild West ass shit. Like, so it must have been even crazier before.
The thing about history that people tend to forget is that like we're living in it right now, and essentially as Wild West as it is between fucking, I don't know, Savannah, Georgia, and Baltimore is how Wild West it was going to be between, the Minoan civilization and the next city down the coast. Yeah. Right? They might not disagree with each other, but like in those civilizations, they're protected. They have guards, they have armies, they've got laws, they've got all kinds of shit.
And they've got treaties and pacts and
so the place that's the Wild West is just like between. We still have the same thing when you think about like sailing a ship down the coast into like South America. There's piracy, there's violence, sure. But if you're in an established like city state, then there's really very little of that sort of like,
but we've got
madness.
We've got
one of the reasons that the Odyssey itself is thought of as this like crazy thing that took 20 years for this guy to fucking get from one point to another and all this stuff that happened. Yeah, but like even in the story, people are like 20 years. That's like a fucking 2-week journey. How the fuck?
Not even.
Like what do they have, pirates and monsters and shit? Because the trade routes were so well established that it should have just been like a quick back and forth.
Yeah.
It's like driving to fucking Orlando and being like, that took you 20 years.
So yeah, we've got thousands of miles of civilized international diplomacy over 3,000 years ago, 3,500 years ago.
Roads, commerce, translators, lots of translators.
So yeah, the sea peoples are supposed to have been a major reason for the collapse of all these Mediterranean civilizations, right?
Yeah. One of the things that is often like attributed to the fall of varying places is seamen.
Yeah. Seamen's cause
a lot of problems.
Yeah.
You get really like when you get semen inside, they can really cause a lot of problems.
Wreak havoc.
Yeah.
Keep the semen out.
Yeah, that's really a principle that they were trying to live on. I mean, others wanted the semen. They wanted the semen to come. They were like kind of hungry for them because it meant trade. They got people on the sea.
Oh, I thought we were talking about jizz.
Oh no, not like hot cum. Like I was referring to sailors,
Oh, I'm sorry.
Although the sailors' hot cum would actually be probably pretty beneficial at various brothels and
I think we should move on.
Yes.
Whenever you guys
are you on your 5 minutes now, buddy?
I felt like it. So yeah, they are supposed to be the reason for the collapse of all these societies. So you've got, in the mix here, Egypt, which was already ancient as hell at this point and rich as hell. And they are very interested, possibly a little obsessed with maintaining this order. The Hittites, who are honestly frequently forgotten in this period, but they are a massive empire that's probably big enough to challenge Egypt if they wanted to. You've got the Mycenaeans, the fucking Greeks, Greek palace society. The Levant, specifically, we were going to talk about a city called Ugarit.
True, your people are familiar with that one, right?
Yeah. I'm from Ugarit.
Yeah.
My ancestors were.
Yeah. Previously known.
I
as
really thought the first time I dropped the name of Ugarit, you were going to make an Uber Eats joke.
What?
I don't
I'm
know.
not a fucking hack. You know what is a hack though? Somebody who drives a taxi cab like an Uber Eats driver.
They don't drive.
They got to get a hack license.
They don't drive it.
I mean, many times people who work that kind of a gig will also drive for deliveries.
The city Ugarit becomes very central to a lot of this collapse, mostly because we have evidence of exactly what the collapse was like. And Ugarit is incredibly important to the late Bronze Age.
Cool.
Also Cyprus.
Cyprus?
Yeah, it's got a hill. What
do they do on that hill? Take hits from the bog?
They are actually super fucking important because they are the primary copper supplier, and copper is half of bronze, right? So the pervasive theory is that this whole collapse is all the sea people's fault, right?
Right. On the island of Cyprus was a common like a trader's chant, because they would sell copper, in bundles of like 40 pounds, and then like short bars as well. It'd be like, I got myself a 40. I got myself a shorty. That was a big.
Here's something you can't understand.
I don't understand the reference.
You can't. Fuck you.
You feel like you want to just kill him in. Yeah.
I had the opportunity to see Cypress Hill at Bonnaroo, but Sonic Youth was playing at the same time, and coincidentally, they did a song together.
Oh, wow.
Really? Sonic Youth and Cypress Hill?
They did a version of I Love You, Mary Jane.
I would have probably chosen Cypress Hill over something.
They did a version of a Rick James song?
I Love You, Mary Jane.
If you don't like Sonic Youth, you really don't like shoegaze.
This is why we're not supposed to talk about music on the podcast, because we could easily fill an hour arguing about that.
Yeah.
I was super into Sonic Youth at the time. I would have liked to have seen Cypress Hill. I was hoping they weren't playing at the same time and they would do that song together, but it didn't happen.
Yeah, I would like to see Cypress Hill as well. I have a weirdly strong background in like fucking early 90s, sort of like gangster rap stuff. I don't know why, but it was like one of the earliest forms of music I paid any attention to. That
was the time for it.
Yeah, I'm a big Wu-Tang fan. Cypress Hill.
Cool. That was the best thing I could have ever done.
Just sort of I go down a whole list of that era, but it's all just in the periph.
Yeah. Wu-Tang was cool too.
I've seen Wu-Tang 2 times.
Maybe controversial, but I kind of liked Run the Jewels better though.
Run the Jewels better than Wu-Tang doesn't do a very good stage performance.
Yeah. I mean,
it's just kind of notorious.
Well, they're just kind of
there's fucking 8 of them.
Yeah. Everybody was there though. That was cool. They got everybody.
I've never been to like a rap show that was not kind of
a little chaotic.
I don't want to use the word disappointing.
I don't think that hip hop is.
It doesn't translate
very well to live shows. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, if it's in like a little club and you're like hyping up a new artist or something, like that's cool. But like a big stadium show or something with rap, it doesn't work.
Wu-Tang had a full band. That was cool.
That's cool. That's very cool. Okay, so who the hell are the Sea Peoples, Riley?
I mean, that's your topic, buddy.
Oh shit,
you're the one doing this episode.
We already made the cum jokes.
Yeah, I said hot cum a couple times.
You said hot semen.
I said hot cum.
You said hot cum too, didn't you? Yeah, you did. It's a little complicated. We have pretty limited info. What we do know is that everything is cruising along pretty beautifully from 1500 to 1200 BC. Pretty quickly, once we cross into the 1100s, cities start burning, refugees start moving, kingdoms start collapsing. Egypt repels an attack from some invaders from the sea around this time, and they're pretty good about naming who attacked them. So we have some records, right? And these are the groups. This is the group. These are the groups. I don't know that Egypt names as the Sea People, which I guess we just have to take their fucking word for, right?
Antifa. Anyone who's sympathetic to communist causes, democratic socialists.
What?
I mean, the terrors of the age, right? This is like it's always been domestic terrorists. Anyone anti-ICE.
These are the groups that Egypt names, right? So firstly, we've got the Peliset. These are people from Western Anatolia, Turkey, right? Maybe they're from the Aegean Islands. Maybe they're from Southern Italy. We don't really know. We do know that the biblical Philistines are the same-ish as the Peliset. I mean, there's a lot of migratory shit happening. I mean,
well, that kind of works for sea people, right? Like
even
the big trade route is the ocean.
Right. So, I mean, the Peliset eventually settle in the Levant and like coastal Levant, and that's when you start seeing the Philistines. But there's probably some migratory interbreeding of, you know, this kingdom and that kingdom and these people and those people. And
this gets annoying, but like one of the great resources for understanding this time and place is, again, the Assassin's Creed series. Like if you're not, if you play video games or you've never done Assassin's Creed, you can look up some fucking Assassin's Creed shit. It puts a context on like time and place that you really can't get any other way.
It is, they do a cool job with.
They do a really good job.
Doing
Like some of
the
them,
historical context.
Some of the games aren't as great. Like the one they did in London is pretty, like it's a very small London, but I mean, you still get like all the major landmarks and a good feel for like time and place. That's what Assassin's Creed is for. And they did Assassin's Creed Odyssey. They delve into a lot of fantasy shit and stuff like that, but it also gives you a great context for like trade routes on the Aegean.
Yeah.
You know, which is like a weird byproduct of the game. I feel like the game was originally...
Do you have to fight sea peoples?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But I feel like there was definitely a...
it's the dominant theory for why this Bronze Age collapsed.
Yeah, well, we're looking at economic collapse, poverty, resource driven. But
it's not actually accurate. So we're kind of debunking a conspiracy in this conspiracy theory.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
With the Assassin's Creed thing, I believe that those games were originally designed to be... educational, and then it kind of fell off there, and then they, like, the same people who wanted educational to start redid that with like the fucking renewal of Assassin's Creed Egypt and shit like that.
It's like if we weren't podcasters, we were video game developers.
Yes,
except for all the towers would be dicks.
Yeah, exactly. It would be a lot of dicks. It'd be a lot of dicks.
Climb to the top.
You
got
to flub the history a little bit. But like not a little digression there, but Assassin's Creed 2 worked really, really hard on doing an authentic like Renaissance Italy. And they do a really good job, but like there's a million little side quests about art and
I did play that one.
That one's really good.
I played the first one and the second one.
To me, that's the high point of the whole series is Assassin's Creed.
I think I tried playing the third one and I was like, eh.
Yeah, well, yeah, the third one, it's like they try to take that same theory and go to the Americas. And colonial America, not great for a free-running climbing game because it's a lot of wilderness.
Trees.
That was the last one I played.
A lot of wood shack-ass houses.
Yeah.
It's just the same game over and over is my problem with it.
But when they did the reboot and they started doing like Egypt and... What have they done now? Egypt. They did the Caribbean during the pirate times. They did
a Viking one.
They did a Viking one that I played that was really cool for like Renaissance, or not even Renaissance, but like medieval England. Gives good context on that. And Assassin's Creed Odyssey is the same thing in the Aegean, and it gives you really fucking cool context for some shit. Like you can in that one. No, I guess in the Egypt one you can like climb the fucking Lighthouse of Alexandria and shit like that, and like and then in the Odyssey one, you can go to Cyprus, you could go to Minoa, you go to all these places, like you sail up to the coast of Turkey. It's really cool.
Cool. So yeah, we've got the Peliset, right?
That game sucks though, I should point out.
Which one?
Odyssey.
Oh, okay. The Peliset, by the way, when once they settled the coastal Levant, they actually dominated like the Eastern Mediterranean for centuries, starting in the 12th century BCE, so the 1100s, right? Egypt also mentions the Checker people.
Oh, I didn't know they had ska back then.
It's spelled Tjeker.
That's not how you spell that.
Checker. These people could be as far away as like Sicily, but also maybe Crete. Also maybe the northwestern Anatolia, south of Troy. And the Checker are also associated with another group that the Egyptians mention, the Shekelesh.
The Shekelekahai Mekahani
Which is a fun name. They're also maybe from Sicily, maybe from Anatolia, depending on who you want to believe. There's also the Sheridan, the Denyen, and the Weshesh. So all people who basically come from somewhere in the Aegean or the Levant or Anatolia, right? Mm-hmm. There are a lot of piracy stories associated with a lot of these people. But again, we don't know a ton about them And I don't know, maybe somebody's going to call me out and say, well, actually, I did my master's.
Actually, if you actually are Dick Joke Podcast, I will come to your house and kill you.
I did my master's thesis on the Shekelesh, and we have artifacts, and you know what? Shut up, you fucking nerd.
Dork ass.
Yeah, you're the only person listening to this who has ever heard of the Shekelesh people, so shut your face. There were probably some other cultures associated with the Sea People, but this is who Egypt, under the rule of Ramses III, specifically states the quote-unquote Sea Peoples were, right? They also claim that these Sea Peoples had been raiding and pillaging and burning other lands in the area before coming to Egypt's door looking for a fight, which Egypt wins and Egypt records.
Mm-hmm.
And like we talked about last week in La Ciudad Blanca, writing something down allows others to read it, and then sometimes that allows imaginations to run wild, and then the legend sort of writes itself.
Yeah.
So it doesn't take long after archaeologists come across these Amarna letters to start to come up with a theory. Civilizations in the Mediterranean experience a major collapse around the same time that Egypt is writing these cuneiform tablets about these Sea Peoples burning their way around the Mediterranean coastline. So what if it was them?
Were the Egyptians?
No, the Sea Peoples.
Oh yeah, okay.
Right. It makes for a better story than a lot of shit went wrong and these kingdoms weren't prepared to deal with all of that. So that's fucking boring.
It's very interesting that I guess fucking spoiler alert for Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey, but they lean pretty heavily into the idea of the Sea People being like this big driver for the collapse around that time. Right. And then they mention it's
which, like I said, is the pervasive theory.
What was
for a long time.
What the movie posits is that it was actually just more of a cultural shift towards being less cultured in general,
which is also not entirely true.
Well, no, it's obviously a cinematic device, but
another spoiler: he pets the dog.
Don't tell anybody. That's the best part.
Is that the spoiler that you were going to give me?
Yeah.
You're like, I can give you. Okay.
Did you saw it, right?
I did. I did.
All right. So I want to talk about this for a quick second.
Okay. Yes. Go ahead.
Since we're discussing this time and place, I think this is appropriate. What Christopher Nolan does with the movie The Odyssey is pretty interesting, and he follows the text pretty closely in a lot of ways and changes it as he wishes to fit his own narrative device. That's fine, because that's literally what he's doing with the opening of the movie, is showing that these are narrative devices. They're stories told over years and years.
Which is why everybody having an American accent didn't bother me.
Fucking fine. Yeah, Tom Holland
it's folklore.
Tom Holland saying dad instead of father is fucking fine.
Yeah.
Did you see that interview where somebody's like, why does your character call him dad instead of father? And he goes like, oh, well, in ancient Greece, they would have said something in Greek, right? So,
which has been my argument for a long time.
He says it kind of annoyed. He's like, so I guess we could say whatever we want because it's not in Greek.
Yeah. That's been my argument with
you go into the movie with the understanding that
exactly.
we're altering this a little bit.
Yeah.
That's
your palate.
That's been my argument for fucking decades about doing movies like these period piece movies, and then that happen in other civilizations with other languages, and having actors all speak in an English accent.
Yeah, we covered that, right?
we
have
talked about it
at length. I rail about this all the time.
Yeah.
Like, how is that lending it any authenticity?
No, we talked about why that is, right?
Because Shakespearean bullshit.
Yeah,
who cares?
So it's like
it's
theater.
Dumb. It's still dumb.
Just like the pervasion of fucking Shakespearean bullshit from British actors who have traveled different places.
It's still dumb.
Yeah, it is dumb. It is, but there's whatever. But they would have done the same thing.
We're gonna cast an American guy from Iowa to be the titular character in the movie Troy. So speaking an English accent, so it's authentic.
One of my favorite things,
dumbest shit I've ever heard
is
of.
That the reason William Shatner talks like William Shatner on Star Trek is because he was trained by the Royal Shakespearean Theater.
Oh my God.
And so his whole speech, the way his manner of speech is taken from iambic pentameter.
Well, and
your crew
I wish I hadn't
destroyed.
I like that you brought up Shatner, because I just edited a part of the previous episode where Patrick goes full Shatner.
Yeah.
And I almost wish I had left it, but it was too much.
What did I do?
You just talk like this for about an entire paragraph.
Did I really?
Yeah. I don't know. I think you were probably reading while you're
I think it's beautifully telling that William Shatner fucking was like, I'm a Shakespearean actor on his role as James Tiberius Kirk in Star Trek. You fucking idiot. Anyway, so the Christopher Nolan
I think
thing,
also there's something to be said for going from stage acting to, because you have to enunciate everything, very
tip of
obviously.
the tongue, the teeth, the lips.
Yeah.
We used to do that all the time on here.
Yeah.
You don't do that anymore.
Red leather, yellow leather, red leather, yellow leather.
That's probably why you're so sloppy now.
Unique New York. The Human Torch was denied a bank loan. No, so in the movie there is a fucking particularly great moment, because in the classic Odyssey, anyone who doesn't know, there's the whole story of Odysseus returning to his island, and then he sees his loyal dog Argus that's been waiting for him for like 20 years, and the dog sees him and like wags his tail. Well, is laying in a pile of shit outside of the palace because all these dickheads kicked him out, and Odysseus can't reach out and pet him because he's, he'll get found out because he's there under. So he just watches the dog wag his tail and then doesn't pet him. And then the dog looks sad and dies, which is the worst thing that anyone's ever done. And like right there, it's like all value in you is gone. You should have killed yourself before you came to this island. Like, you're the worst. So I have this picture in my head of Christopher Nolan reading the Odyssey or watching the made for TV version, Armand Assante. Never saw that? It's great.
I don't think so.
It's on Tubi. But it's just seeing that and seeing the scene where the fucking dog doesn't get pet and then dies.
He's like, oh, well, this won't do.
Nope, fuck that. Fuck that. Somebody call Matt Damon. Assemble the team. I'm making the Odyssey.
Call Matt Damon.
We're fixing this.
Will you pet the dog, Matthew?
I was like, the thought never crossed my mind not to pet the dog. But it also, in a way, I will say it works so much better that he does pet the dog than not.
Well, he just kind of puts his hand on the dog.
Yeah, but that's all he needs. That's the whole point.
Yeah.
That's the absolution element of it. It's just like his character in the Christopher Nolan one doesn't think for even a second about not petting that fucking dog.
The dog's been laying in a pile of shit for the last year. Like nobody's paying attention to what the dog does anymore.
The fact that there's not even a fucking discussion of his first instinct is like, my dog. He's like, I don't give a fuck if I have to fight anybody over this. I love that. I think that's a strong contender for the best goddamn moment in any movie I've ever seen, based on like thousands of years of that dog not getting pet in every fucking representation.
It was worth the price of admission.
Completely worth it. That makes the Oscar winning.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, fucking give him best picture because of the dog. That's it.
Okay.
He did it. He nailed it.
Okay, so most people, if they've heard about this civilizational collapse, which is not entirely true, have typically heard about the sea people theory, right? Which is also not entirely accurate. So let's reverse engineer this conspiracy, yeah?
Yeah.
So importantly, calling them the sea people implies like a unified group, right?
Yeah.
And I just told you we have ideas where they came from individually, but like somewhere in the Aegean, maybe Anatolia, possibly the Levant, could be Sicily. Those are all decidedly different and all pretty far from one another, especially, in an age of ship,
Age of ship. Lots of ship stuff going on.
in an age of sea travel.
Right.
There's no trains, there's no planes, there's no automobiles.
No Jar Candy, no Steve Martin.
Nope. Well,
Obviously one of the great
I would
things.
love to see a 1200 BCE Mediterranean John Candy. I think that guy would be my best friend.
I think that guy would own slaves.
He would. And he would be adorned in gold.
And he'd be charming as all fuck.
Because only rich people could be fat.
I think that, as we do on this podcast, like talking about areas that aren't investigated very well, the sea people theory to me is, stupid and grounded in fact, like all Greek mythology shit that we ever get, But like, this is an area of expanded trade, and expanded trade leads to heavy capitalistic, endeavor, which in turn leads to heavy poverty on the other side and a lot of social
piracy.
division.
And
social
piracy.
division in general. If you're working at an olive fucking farm, Olive Garden, where your family, if you're working
only when you're there.
quite literally an Olive Garden. If you're working in an Olive Garden, fucking sweating every goddamn day outside,
because of all the endless pasta and breadsticks.
But like your whole thing is you spend all fucking year getting all these olives together and you make like 10 gallons of olive oil, and that's all the money you get for the year. And some pompous fat fuck with a golden robe comes through and tosses you a bag of coins. He's like, yes, we'll be back next year, and takes all your shit. And you're still in poverty. You kind of want to kill that guy and take the rest of his gold, right? And then you still have your olive oil. It's like a really easy thing to look at and just be like, well, economic disparity is always going to push poverty.
we're gonna get into some social division here for sure. We don't have any evidence that all these groups like banded together under one banner, right? The Sea People is sort of like, it's again, it's back to that, like, what's the more eye-catching headline? You know, if we were writing ad copy and it's like in pre-Christ Mediterranean, because they had newspapers. But if we were writing ad copy, what's gonna be more of a, you know, even though it's like cuneiform tablets, whatever, what's gonna be more of an eye catcher? What's gonna be a better story? What's gonna lead to a cooler oral tradition, right? The Sea People, or shit was kind of fucked up in general, and
that's how history likes to slam stuff together, you know?
Yeah. So we have to like deep dive the evidence rather than just speculate like some fucking archaeologist trying to sell a book. You know what I mean?
Crooked ass archaeologist.
Let's take the facts that we have definitively here, right? There is diplomacy and trade going on like gangbusters in this area for centuries, right? Long enough for multiple civilizations not only to thrive, but to create bureaucracies and diplomacies and thousands of jobs and economies and wealth and all that shit, right?
Yeah.
And these kings are constantly making deals and integrating families through arranged marriages and asking for gifts and sending gifts and creating obligations across kingdom lines, right? Yeah. And this is that inextricable interconnection that I talked about earlier, right? And at the center of all this is bronze.
Yeah. Copper
and tin. I mentioned before that Cyprus was the premier copper exporter, right? There's an abundance of copper in Cyprus.
Something
right?
I noticed in Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey, didn't have bronze swords.
Dicks.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
That's what they would have had.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not big. I don't need to stickler everything, but that's also a cool look. Why wouldn't you stylize your shit with bronze swords? That looks dope as fuck. It's the same thing with Troy.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're using like fucking
iron.
Yeah. It's not. That's no wrong.
Yeah. Iron Age comes next.
Yeah.
I didn't think about that, but yeah, you're right.
It pisses me off because I understand that the representation of weapons throughout history is never really shown with like copper or bronze stuff, but that looks cool. There's something else that we could talk about in the future because, like, yeah, okay, that like steel swords and iron swords and stuff were like a big deal. Mm-hmm. Any fucking metal ever has been made into weapons.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Accurate.
Dig up a fucking lead sword and it'd be soft, or a lead hammer, you know?
For sure.
Yeah.
Looking at it from like a movie director perspective, it's probably tough to source enough bronze to make a lot of bronze swords.
No. Dumb.
It's okay. It's harder than sourcing iron.
I guess if you're making real swords.
Yeah, there is spray paint.
You had an unlimited budget. You can't gild your fucking rubber swords with cool bronze shit.
You spray paint them.
It's just dumb. It would have been a cool look.
They literally make hammered bronze spray paint.
It's like
I could go to Home Depot right now.
Red. Like bronze is a good color. It's cool.
It's cool looking. So yeah, copper and tin. Cyprus has got the copper, right? The tin is considerably trickier to come by. You want to hazard a guess as to where the tin came from around this time?
Tin, Africa.
Mm-hmm. No, you're going to be interested here. Hopefully you're interested in the whole thing, but this is an interesting point. There is archaeological evidence from 3,300 years ago that there was tin mining going on in modern day England.
Oh, interesting. So the tin is coming all the way from England to Greece.
Yeah, and if that's not enough for you, there's evidence from archaeological digs in modern Israel, Turkey, and Greece that include tin ingots that originated from British deposits. So how the fuck is that for interconnection?
That is interesting, especially that far before like Rome.
Yeah.
You know,
we're talking about complex trade networks.
That's tight. Well, you know what?
Not just bopping around the Eastern Mediterranean. That is a complex. Like, you have got to really...
You know what makes a lot of sense with that, actually, is... Yeah. I'm going to look something... Why don't you vamp for a quick second? I'm look something up really quick.
What? Who was in England at the time?
No, not necessarily that. Hold on.
Okay.
Do.
I will vamp for a second while you do. So we've got miners selling to merchants who are shipping to kingdoms
Too young for all that.
to sell to blacksmiths, to make bronze weapons, to arm troops and amass armies, to grow and protect kingdoms, to ease trade, to supply palaces, to buy and distribute food and resources. It's a machine with a lot of cogs that over centuries has become pretty well oiled, right?
Yes. Okay. So my vamping was I was looking up the time period of an area called Doggerland that was essentially a like a verdant area that what connected England to Europe that existed 10,000, 7,000 BC, or 10,000 to 7,000 years ago. So it's a few thousand years before the Bronze Age. But that would still mean that they had very strong cultural ties.
And that might still fall into like the early Bronze Age.
Yeah, exactly.
We're talking about late Bronze Age here.
Well, in that case, the cultural ties of the Celts between the Celts and the French ones, Picts and Celts from England to France were still very, very strong, and it would be really surprising if they didn't still have trade and like cultural ties. So that tin gets mined in England, makes its way down the coast from France into Spain, just like continuing
Spain
trade
and
down.
Portugal also had some tin deposits as well.
So that would be like the stretch of that trade route going from the fucking Aegean Sea up to, say, Portugal. Then Portugal's trading with the French, who's trading with the English. I mean, who at the time weren't really necessarily that divided.
Right.
Yeah, in fact, like probably the Celts on the French coast would be like, yeah, we got an island that we mine that shit off of over here.
Yeah. But it's crazy. And like I said, you've got this, you've set up this economy, right? So you've got these miners way over there and you've got these merchants that show up on their ships. And so they're buying all the tin and loading up the ships to sell back in the Aegean for whatever kingdom that they are flying their banner under. And then that goes to blacksmiths who, make the weapons. Without those weapons, we can't arm our troops. We can't amass our armies. Without the armies, your
trade routes are unprotected.
The kingdom can't grow, and we can't make trade easier because we have no one to protect it. And without that trade, we can't supply our palaces. And without supplying our palaces, we can't buy the food for our population. We can't buy the resources for our population. So every cog in this machine, which, like I said, over centuries has become very well oiled.
Far more. Our civilization right now in the Americas is only a couple hundred years old. So they have the thousands of years of like traditional trading and relationships between countries and cities and
right. And I mean, even for like the last few hundred years, this has really ramped up and become a very trade heavy area. And it all centers around, I mean, the pebble that turns into the snowball rolling down the mountain is bronze, right?
Yeah.
So what happens if one of these, like just one bit of that network breaks? Can the other cogs take on that additional load? That's
tough because when you're talking about like,
and what if that load is semen?
Hot semen.
Semen.
One of the big problems with Aegean trade in my mind is that they weren't usually just doing fucking like circumnavigation. They weren't just going from one end of the sea to the, because anybody who's not super familiar with the Aegean Sea, it's more of like a big ass fucking inlet.
It's not very big,
but it's compared to a human being.
Okay,
like when you're fucking using a wind powered ship, it's
an elephant is very big compared to a human being.
Not as big as the Aegean Sea. You get what I'm fucking saying.
I do.
But like because of this, the trade routes in the Aegean weren't just like bipping and bopping across the Aegean Sea because that's very far from land. It's not protected. And there are, as featured in the Odyssey, many islands full of random ass people and a lot of piracy.
And cyclopses.
You get pig witches.
And pig witches
that in the text, Odysseus fucks
her.
Yeah.
Yeah, why didn't you fuck her?
Yeah, why didn't he? Samantha Morton?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was her? She was in The Walking Dead. She was
Alpha.
Yeah.
She's also one of the precogs from Minority Report.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, Samantha Morton was supposed to be like fucking like the actress.
The next big thing.
She was like the next like big
she was
fucking
also,
Oscar winner.
You're going
actress.
far, kid.
She also recorded all of the movie Her before they replaced her with Scarlett Johansson. Yeah.
That
really
sucks.
Yeah.
I really want to, I never even actually saw her. But I would rather hear the Samantha Morton.
I would like to go back to her now
Uh-huh.
10 years later, because things are wildly different, and it is not that far off from reality at all.
People with AI girlfriends.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a thing.
Riley has some, remember?
Yeah, remember
that's
we talked
right.
about that. Yeah,
You got an AI
I talked to
girlfriend.
them shits. Yeah,
I
weird.
talked to them shits.
It's creepy. Creepy stuff.
It doesn't stop you from, never mind.
Wait, yorking it to AI?
Stop-
Not necessarily
stop you from
true.
Cranking your piece.
You don't
Well,
know my life. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, like a pig witches and pirates out there.
Oh,
So
no, that's-
because of that, the normal trade route on the Aegean wasn't going to be just fucking bipping and bopping across. They would go along the coastline.
Yeah.
Because there are more cities on the coast, and if a city sees fucking piracy happening, they'll probably send out their shit to stop that. But if one of those cities falls, then the people there are all going to become pirates because they need supplies that they're not going to get from their governments. So you're trying to go from one city to another along the coastline. There's a whole area that you cannot trade through because the peasants will fucking take your shit.
You're starting to unpack the sea peoples, buddy.
I mean, that's exactly that's economic disparities. Like, that's the whole thing. Also, something I would point out.
No war but the class war.
No war but the class war, baby. Generally, fuck them city-states. I stand with the sea people. Yeah, take their shit. Fuck that civilization.
Oh my god.
But a big point is, if you're talking about a primarily oceanic, what's the fucking the term for like
Seafaring.
mostly seafaring cultures all around, that's like at least where the main ports were, then
yeah, there was a lot of farming and stuff going on as well.
but just think, if you're living on the coast and you're very poor and you need to feed your family, what do you end up doing?
Yeah.
Start fishing.
Yeah.
You fish.
Take to the sea.
You take to the sea to fish and shit like that. And that means that you know a boat pretty well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You can survive. So everybody out there got a boat.
Anybody along this coastline knows probably not only how to sail a small vessel, probably nothing. I mean, even back then they didn't have like big galleons and shit. But yeah, anybody in this area knows how to not just sail one, but probably make some sort of seafaring vessel.
In the Assassin's Creed, where you can be in Egypt and find like the the lighthouse of Alexandria.
Sucks.
Do you make a boat?
Doesn't suck. Great game. You don't make a boat, but there are a lot of fucking boats, and a lot of them are just like reeds tied together and shit with a called a lateen sail. This is just a
100%.
big fucking blanket that you hold onto.
All you have to do is just have something that floats and a cloth.
Yeah.
And you can make we could make a sailboat. If we really put our minds to it, we can make a sailboat right here in a matter of weeks.
Fun detail in those games too is that you can burn those boats, and you can also collect shit from the bottom of the water in later games. So you can burn a boat and get into the water and take their shit, which is a big strategy for Aegean pirates as well. One of the reasons that there are hundreds and thousands of shipwrecks at the bottom of that bitch.
So now that we've sort of interconnected a lot of things here, let's say for the sake of
Drew was
argument,
just globbing on his microphone like it was a wiener, just to break things up. He's also wearing a Hugh Hefner-esque bathrobe.
Yeah, I told you.
the bathrobe's been sort of a fixture recently. I feel like this is
He's
going to become like, what are you going to do when we start doing live shows? Are you going to come out in the
Bathrobe?
In the bathrobe? I think you should. I think this should be the thing.
Best of Cynthia, we did one live show where I don't remember why. I think I came to practice in a bathrobe, and then Tim put on his bathrobe, and then we're like, let's just all wear bathrobes
That's good.
for this.
Good stuff.
Not bad.
Yeah, so we
Should
all
have done that every fucking show.
the band before us played. We were all wearing regular clothes, but then we go and we all put our bathrobes. Jay was wearing a kimono.
Sounds like a J.
Yeah, it was a Jay thing. And we all got up, and then some old boomer, fucking whatever. He's like, "Y'all were pretty good, but that was weird." Like,
But why are you all gay?
Well, we were gonna put our cock and balls in tube socks,
yeah,
like the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Big inspiration for Drew's band.
Yeah,
nope, not even a little.
particularly Anthony Kiedis.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yep. You've said it.
Frusciante
We
was
heard
it.
really the heart of the Chili
God
Peppers.
damn it.
Fuck Frusciante. Everybody being excited about Frusciante coming back. I don't give a fuck. Fuck that guy. He's just gonna
Back.
quit
Was
again
he-
in a
was he
couple years.
gone? I didn't know that.
He left. He came back. They got some other guy.
Do some
Who gives a
solo
shit?
stuff.
Dave Navarro.
He should release some stuff under like a solo project called Free Shante.
I would leave a band if if they all got me addicted to heroin at 17 too, probably.
Yeah.
I'd probably be like, you know what? You guys aren't good for me.
I'd leave the band too when
The
I
fucking lead
died
singer's
from heroin.
I'm 17 and the lead singer's banging all my friends. Fuck you, Anthony Kiedis. I hope you hear this someday.
That's why they got. That's why they got him. They were like, we need
a looking piece of shit.
We need to source some underage girls. How do we do that? Well, let's get
fellas. Do you know any underage girls?
Let's get a kid to be our guitarist.
We've talked about this before. Like, how do these motherfuckers do that? He's just like, hey, you know where to find some teenage girls?
They got Frashante.
Right this way.
That's my theory.
Yeah. They were like, let's get a high school kid to be our guitarist. Then we'll get all the 16-year-old girls. And me, Anthony Kiedis, will write songs about fucking them.
And then I'll write it in my book, and everybody will still be chill
bing
with
bong,
it.
ding bong, bing
And every
ding
song
dong,
will
dong.
either be about California or fucking an underage girl, and some songs will be about both.
Yeah, the thing is Danny California.
Yeah. See Anthony Kiedis like with his notebook and his pen and paper.
Underage in state of Mississippi.
Yeah, he's got his like his pen and paper, and he's like,
Danny,
I've got all these songs.
Danny.
I've got all these songs about California.
What am I gonna call her, Danny?
I got all these songs about fucking underage teenage girls.
Danny.
How do I put those
Nevada,
together?
Danny, Arizona.
And then please like California.
Danny, Idaho.
Danny, Montana.
Danny, Montana.
No, that sounds like a man.
What am I can't. Maybe it's just not a state. Maybe I shouldn't just. Oh,
got it.
What's a 4-syllable state? It feels like it needs to be 4 syllables. Massachusetts, Mississippi. What am I missing? I'm missing something here. Oh, I got it.
That's when I fell off with them.
I can't think of another. I can't think
that's
of
all of them.
I can't think of a fourth.
When they had the audacity, the Red Hot Chili Peppers to put out a double album, I'm like, nobody wants to hear that shit for fucking 120 minutes.
Stadium Arcadium.
This was before all
name.
This is before it was clear that Anthony Kiedis was a pedophile.
Yeah, he would have been really at home in ancient Greece.
Yep.
Speaking of which, so let's say, for the sake of argument,
Anthony Kiedis did go to ancient Greece.
that some of the places
like
along
shit.
Some of the places along all these kingdoms aren't massive city centers, but instead they're more agrarian. They're outside and away from immediate assistance, right? Then what happens if maybe your crops fail, or maybe your supplies from the kingdom are being constantly attacked and stolen by bandits? Or, hey, some people from the sea pull up on your shores, attacking and burning and stealing supplies that did make it to your little town. What if that's not a one-off, but like, what if one or all of those things keep happening over and over and over again? How long, just from a human perspective, how long before you pack up your family, you pack up your livestock, you take whatever's left of your home and you get the hell out of there and you move on to somewhere else?
I mean, that is kind of like your standard human experience, really. It's like, because there's the rise and fall of civilizations and shit like that, but like pretty quick.
Yeah.
If there's no food, you got to move fast.
Also, what if you're not the only people in town doing that?
Yeah.
What if half of the town or all of the town decides we've had enough? Let's fucking move on somewhere else.
Yeah.
What if you run into other refugees from other towns that are doing the exact same thing as you? How many people are absorbed into other societies? And then there are some choices.
Well,
maybe some people become raiders or mercenaries. Suddenly, maybe sea peoples weren't so much like this crazy invading force, so much as like a wave of mass migration during a crisis.
Yeah, absolutely. And then you think about the city states where all like the pores out there are just killing us on the road. My shipment of saffron hasn't come in.
Well, and that's not to say
silks.
That's not to say that there weren't raiders and pirates and mercenaries, right? I'm just saying that maybe that's not the whole story. Also, because the Egyptians, the same Egyptians that gave us the Amarna letters, also had some reliefs from the same time period showing families traveling with carts and animals alongside warriors.
Hold on a second.
Which is not really like a normal marching into battle visual. If you have this relief with like families and carts and livestock and all, and then there's like a warrior carrying a sword, that's a weird visual.
This is a great example of what we've always tried to do with the show, is like try and hit like a grounded perspective on,
and try and unpack some of these things.
Because I mean, okay, so if you're going to fucking fight in a field in England or something, and you're you're from Kent and the other one's from whatever fuck. And like, yeah, you can just take your army and trek for a day,
Sure.
and then fight in a muddy field. Then yeah, you probably aren't going to bring too many children.
Yeah, you're not bringing your kids and your livestock in a cart, and your your pregnant wife's in there.
But
You know what I mean?
if your village is fucking burned and all of your things are what you have in your cart, and you and all of your neighbors need to go fucking fight somebody for more supplies, there's really no place to put your kids and your wife and shit, your carts.
Right.
They got to be with you.
And also,
the minute you leave them somewhere, the next fucking impoverished group is going to come through and rape and murder them.
And also, there's this whole, like, some of these men in this little agrarian town used to be warriors or mercenaries or whatever. They've got swords and armor. We're moving the whole town. Who's going to protect us while we're on the road?
Yeah.
So it would not be odd for those men to gear up and be like, okay, we are, accompanying this migration.
It really is like Walking Dead rules too, because that sort of thing, like, okay, so we're the warrior band that protects this family group. That makes us a wandering society. And the brutality that's inherently necessary to survive and get the food to feed these people, the desperation that entails, like, that's going to make you a pretty fucking ruthless group.
Yeah, probably.
It's like if you come across a weaker group with women and children, like, maybe you're not necessarily interested in eating the children, but like, they've got stuff that you need.
Right. I would love to integrate them and strengthen our numbers, but what if they're dangerous? What if they don't have good intentions?
And then another interesting factor of being part of like the proletariat, as it were, in the this area of like just like the poor people who are trying to struggle and have to commit to violence to survive. Interesting side note of that is economic disparity breeds contempt. So maybe you don't want to kill the people from the next village that are just trying to survive.
Yeah.
But you do think, hey, if we band together, we can fucking take out this wealthier village, because those guys, fuck them.
But also, I mean, there is the argument to be made, and going back to your Walking Dead rules, am I more interested in my morality and possibly losing everyone I care about, or am I more interested in keeping the people that I care about alive at the expense of the morality and ethics involved in that I lose in hacking these people to bits?
To zoom in on that, actually, and very prescient commentary on that, I think, look at the current state of the American ethos. Like, how many people do you know that have just recently gotten guns, or have stockpiled a weapon, or have their entire lives, like myself, always anticipated some big collapse in which you're going to have to struggle desperately to survive?
Suppressors are legal in Florida now, just saying.
Yeah. It's just like,
you can buy them without a wait list.
You can kill people without them even hearing.
What we're talking about is people preparing to be sea people, essentially, in that context, but with guns now instead of just bronze weapons.
Right.
Right.
So instead of this popular explanation that is everything was great, then the sea peoples show up and they invade, and then nearly all of Mediterranean Bronze Age civilization falls apart. What if it's not that fucking dramatic? Or at least dramatic in a different way?
History very rarely happens all at once.
I mean, there's no doubt that the sea peoples existed, or at least that, some strange people from far away came through warring and also migrating with their entire families.
Real quick, something that a strange person from far away in ancient Greece might have said is proto-genemino monokero. That means
Man, fuck that old dumbass bitch.
That means firstborn unicorn.
God damn your piece of shit ass.
Proto-genemino monokero.
I quit. Have fun.
Oh, Drew always threats to quit.
I quit every week. I'm great at quitting. I'm just not great at not coming back.
Yeah. You're one of those. You're that guy that works on like the line in the kitchen.
Yep.
Like, fuck this, I quit.
California, but with a K.
Californus.
So the evidence from an archaeological standpoint has some other things to say other than everything was great, sea people came, everything fell apart.
Yeah.
We have some evidence that puts all this into a little bit of perspective. Specifically, there were civilizations that were already collapsing. There were some civilizations or cities at least that were destroyed that don't really have any clear connection with any sea people's invasion. What happened to them?
For instance, Troy.
The sheer range of collapse would be kind of wild and nonsensical if it was one unified sea peoples, right? It's just kind of all over the place. And there were regions that collapsed without any invasion whatsoever. So what if these mysterious sea peoples weren't so much the cause of this giant collapse as they were just maybe a symptom of a larger collapse?
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly where my mind goes.
Yeah. You don't necessarily need a mysterious race of marauders when the complexity of how you've built your society doesn't allow you to recuperate from just unfortunate, well-timed events.
Yeah.
I say that, by the way, fully aware of the irony of how our world economy currently operates.
I don't even think there's anything ironic about it.
As I introduce Exhibit A.
I think you're looking so down the barrel of like causality, repeated causality. This is exactly those who don't learn history are doomed to repeat it.
Well, Exhibit A is climate stress.
Yep.
There is a wealth of archaeological evidence from this period that points to a severe, prolonged drought in much of the Eastern Mediterranean at this time. So, this is like the evidence is like tree ring evidence, pollen collection, lake sediments, cave deposits, isotope reading, agricultural records, recorded correspondence, ancient correspondences. So, like I said, a wealth of evidence. Let's go back to our isolated little agrarian hamlet again, right? How long does the drought last before you pack your whole fucking family up and go elsewhere?
I mean, when you're on the sea, that's tough. Because if you're not getting fresh water, all you got is salt water. Things are going to get fucking weird.
And the droughts obviously vary across location and chronology here, but it's not all happening at the same time. But, how many people in the town left before you? How many are leaving with you? How many harvests aren't going to come through before I'm like, fuck this shit. Like, it's not as bad down the coast. It might be bad a few years down the road, but right now they're doing better than us. Get the fuck out of here.
When I moved from Detroit, it was in the midst of a fairly complicated economic recession. A lot of people were moving and like affluent suburbs and stuff. Houses were going up for sale all over the place. And one of the reasons that spurred my family to sell our house was that our neighbors were all selling their houses. And you get this feeling in that situation of like rats leaving a sinking ship.
Right.
And it's every day. Every day that you see more houses popping up for sale, more people that you knew being gone. Like you go to your doctor's office, the fucking doctor's gone because he already moved to fucking Wisconsin.
Well, and the more people that move, the more something that was maybe just like a passing thought now becomes like
it solidifies.
Yeah, it's kind of it's like accidental peer pressure. You know what I mean? It seems like more of a good idea the more people leave, and you're like, fuck, dude. Like
it's like when there's a very Florida feeling, but like when the first inklings that there might be a major weather event headed your way start to kick in, and people at first are like, whew, I hope it's not too bad. But then you notice a lot of people at the gas station.
Yep.
And like a lot of people buying water and
or
shit.
A lot of, you start seeing plywood go up over windows.
Exactly.
Before you saw your neighbor putting plywood over his windows, you were like, meh. And then you see that and you're like,
and then it starts to get a little weirder,
I don't do that shit anymore.
There are people that plywood on the windows.
No.
Like, fuck it, I'll die.
No, I pay
Cat 5, maybe I would.
I pay exorbitant insurance premiums for a fucking reason.
But like, there's this feeling that I don't know if it's not uniquely Floridian, but it's like more common where when people are like, yeah, we're going to evacuate, like before it's even announced you should evacuate, and people are like, I want to go see my sister in Georgia or some shit. Like, I want to go to Gainesville. I'm going to go here. I'm going to go there. And then you start getting like, ooh, now it's...
There's some of that I take with a grain of salt because some people just want, like, it's an excuse to like go visit your sister or go, whatever.
Yeah,
like,
but I think that's
but then there comes a point where then there comes the point where it's like, oh, maybe we should think about.
And if that coming storm is starvation for you and your family, and the fact that there are no resources that you can survive on or water, you can only go, maybe it'll rain so long.
I can't evacuate. I'm on the storm team at the hospital.
Oh yeah.
So,
storm team.
Yeah.
Stay here and die with your family.
No, they're going to die separately.
Help.
I have to sleep at the hospital.
Yeah, do they have like iron shutters and stuff?
I don't know.
They have generators and shit, so you'll be more comfortable than your family who's sitting here with no AC or power.
I got a generator now, baby.
Oh, you did? You got one?
I did.
I'm just I plan on sticking it out through the storm and then pillaging the people afterwards. That's always,
Yeah.
because,
Well,
you left to go to West Virginia? Well, say goodbye to your solar panels.
Will you grab me a few more? while
Fuck
you're at
yeah,
it?
I'll get as many as you need.
Jesus, Patrick.
Just sit on your fucking computer. All right, hey everybody, sorry we had to take a quick break so that I could shoot arrows at Patrick while he tried to cut them with a samurai sword, and I'm not saying that just so that we sound cool. That is exactly what we just did for the past 15 minutes.
If you were on Patreon, you could see a photo of it. Did you post
I'm
the photo?
sending it right now.
Pat didn't,
Captioned,
Pat
the
didn't
very
hit
intelligent
any,
host, world-renowned.
He didn't hit
Twitter
any, but we
podcast.
still got to work out the kinks.
We got, it's hard to see those arrows. The sun
it's
was
tough,
kind of
yeah.
sort of in my face.
Also, it's a new bow, so I'm like not really not perfect with it.
Yeah.
We're gonna do
I
the
thought it was pretty
crossbow
good.
next.
But crossbow, I think we should figure out if he can hit an
Yeah,
arrow.
can I do the regular arrow before we get crossbows?
Because I'm kind of
involved?
lobbing them right now, sort of pong.
These people need content.
I haven't
All
even,
right, quickly.
haven't even done a good ting.
What about throwing knives?
Fuck yeah, hell yeah. What we could do is
Let me
we
catch
could
them in my teeth.
let's make some throwing knives, but like dull edges.
By the way, we aren't so impulsive in ADD that we just stopped and said, "Hey, let's shoot arrows and try and hit them with a katana." I had to have business calls with people, and then the bow and arrow came out and started being shot, and then Riley goes, "Hey, grab the katana," and then that's how we ended up there.
Yeah,
It was organic.
because I got my bow and arrow over here, which is a cool little 40-pounder.
I have all the weapons in my shed.
Yeah. I should have fucking tried with a sai. Ding clang. I should put on gloves for that.
Probably.
I gotta quit breaking my fingers. All right, anyway, what were we talking about? Fucking Greece or some shit?
Oh, I was saying that I recognize the irony of interconnected world trade and how, sometimes when a society is built with uber complex sort of systems and cogs that all have to work in conjunction with one another, one little thing can go wrong and sort of collapse the whole thing. And I was saying Exhibit A, climate stress. And then we were talking about all the different evidence for that archaeologically. And then I think we went back to the Hamlet, or agrarian Hamlet, and
But soft,
I was
this
saying
too solid flesh would melt in thoughts of into a dew.
And I was saying how many droughts, how many harvests don't come in before you and everybody else leave.
Yeah, like one.
Yeah.
Like one, oh shit, we didn't get any.
Maybe one
we didn't get any
maybe
grains
next year.
this year.
This harvest was bad. Maybe next year will be okay. I could see that. There's an argument for that.
Well, I guess
but
we'll
then
just
next
live
year,
off of piss until then.
then next year is bad.
We got all this piss cabbage stored up.
By the way, I did put this in my notes because I just referenced the current world economy. The implication being that it is also extremely interconnected and subject to collapse. Yes, I understand that it's different.
Yeah, also, I think it's fun to note that we are just some assholes. And we're all like, yeah, it seems a lot like when fucking the trade routes in ancient Greece fell.
It's different. Obviously, we have global markets and rapid shipping and airplanes and refrigeration and irrigation and blah, blah, blah.
Reservoirs out west are at like 1%.
But I mean, it is different than like these civilizations had grain. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like basically just grain.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no Amazon drivers with more grain down the road if your grain didn't grow.
Yeah, it's pretty
there's
much
not
that.
A warehouse the next state over.
You better catch a fish or you're fucked.
Yeah. My point is, I am also pretty sure that everyone from the miners in the ground to the kings running these kingdoms probably thought they were going to have a forever Bronze Age. You don't realize that the collapse is coming when
they got this magic alloy that fucking makes them super powerful.
Nothing is ever going to go wrong. It's too dialed in. Iron can suck my balls. And the reality is that 1 or 2 or 10 fucking years of agricultural strain is enough to destabilize a kingdom.
No.
And that includes the one we are currently in.
Yeah, and hey, there's been some agricultural strain lately.
I mentioned Ugarit earlier, right?
Ugarit?
Yeah. There it is. I knew it would come. So let's talk about Ugarit, right? It is on the Mediterranean coast of modern day Syria, and it's like smack dab in the Fertile Crescent. It is a bustling city during the Bronze Age, right? It's it's a trading crossroads. It's a merchant town, a ton of buying and selling, people in and out.
Any kind of food you want.
Yeah,
it's
just driving around, delivering stuff.
It's a rich place. It is an economic giant, right? Capable of weathering any storm, right?
Yeah, it can't fail. Too big to fail.
Ugarit collapses.
Yeah.
And we know that it does because of correspondences that have survived, right? Strangely.
I can read one here verbatim. It says, "Oh shit, Ugarit is collapsing." Here's another one that said, "God damn, Ugarit collapsed."
Yeah.
2 stars.
And then here's one that says,
Ancient Assyrian.
oh God, it's all burning. Jesus, what do we do?
Fucking Drew,
and then somebody wrote back, who's Jesus?
Sometimes, Drew, you're just quiet little in the background jokes.
But I missed it. What'd you say?
Don't worry about it. You'll hear it other.
Yeah, you gotta listen to the episode.
I don't listen to this
That was
podcast.
good shit, though. That was good shit.
So strangely, no mention of sea people in these correspondences.
Like, fuck our economy.
What it does
Damn
mention,
sea people.
what it does mention is that the palace is out of grain. The people need grain. The neighboring kingdoms,
No grain.
also out of grain. Refugees from surrounding areas are showing up because their harvests have failed, and they don't realize that they are adding competition for the same very scarce resource that everyone else is fighting for.
Yeah.
So now suddenly we're not talking about our agrarian little hamlet anymore. This is a hub. This is like a center for trade. And
they can't
folks,
fucking even send grain out.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, on Cyprus, they're insane for these men's grain.
That's fucking good.
Oh, God damn it. Fuck off. Yeah.
Insane for the grain.
This is a center of trade. And these folks are now packing up to go elsewhere. Ugarit, like not a little town. Mm-hmm. They are going to look for food and safety and land where they can grow shit like they used to be able to here. And they are ditching this wealthy city, but they're still looking to other wealthy cities. And so they are arriving at other borders only to find out that those cities are struggling too. So, when conditions spread like this, that instability, to your point earlier, turns into violence pretty quickly.
Very quickly. There will be, I'm going to assume you'll probably say this exactly, there will be immediate instances of big violence, followed by long-range, slow instances of small violence. Yeah.
Well, and I mean, you can keep the yokel refugees from agrarian hamlet at bay pretty easily. Yeah. Right? You've got the...
What do they got? Sticks? Fuck them.
You've got the soldiers, you've got the army to sort of go, calm down, guys. But a large population migration like this from a city like Ugarit, mob mentality is going to do what it does. Yeah. And there aren't enough soldiers to contain that.
No, I mean, especially since...
And all it takes is one guy spearing somebody else that everybody likes a whole bunch, and now shit's on fire.
And immigration has always been a big deal here, right? Like, in general... So Ugarit's failing. A bunch of people from Ugarit come to the neighboring city, and they just want to live there. Is really what it comes down to.
They want to live there, and they want the safety and security and food and all that shit.
And there's a lot, and the people inside the city will be like, "No, fuck them, get them out."
We already don't have enough. We're already struggling.
Exactly. So like, it's just that domino effect,
right? And I mean, even if you're talking about a neighboring city, a neighboring kingdom that is on good terms. And would normally say, yeah, come on in. We got it all here, baby. When you're struggling, you can't. And there's always going to be that person that's going, how do we even make that happen logistically?
It's very obvious that this is going to correlate immediately with a lot of listeners with our current immigration kerfuffle. In
That's a good word
States.
for it.
So the troubles that we're having with the immigration. I am certainly not going to say that immigration destabilizes a populace, because I don't think that's true. I think it strengthens a populace in a lot of ways. But it
depends on your resources. Yeah, it depends on your resource management.
Yes, exactly. So like resource management is a big fucking deal.
Because we have the resources, don't necessarily have the resource management.
Yes. I guess in this context of the back, they didn't have either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, just to zoom out again, just a little bit, we started with copper from Cyprus, tin from England, Spain, Portugal, Central Asia, but a lot of England. Ships with these very complex trading routes, towns like Ugarit at the center of commerce, and palaces all around the Eastern Mediterranean coordinating this whole thing, right? It's a beautifully it's a beautifully intricate.
Fucking idiot.
I'm doing a second take.
Nope. You can do whatever you want.
I'm taking over editing duties again.
Sweet.
No, I'm not. My God, what did I just say?
Nope. That's staying in too.
It's a beautifully intricate Jenga tower, essentially, right? Once you remove the grain, you've got less food, which means now you've got to remove stability, which means that trade is more difficult. So now go ahead and remove your raw material for metals because you can't get that anymore, right? Which means you can't arm your army very well. So go ahead and remove military capacity, which means now your security suffers. So pull even more trade out, which means shortages. And by now your fucking tower is crumbling.
What movie is this? There's a in my head right now, there is some like fucking clock ticking montage of varying things happening while somebody slowly moves pieces on a board or some shit. Like there's a movie like that. I want to say like maybe V for Vendetta.
See, I'm imagining
some Matrix ass like Wachowski movie.
I'm imagining like a super cut of all these sort of tragedies on the back end that keeps intercutting with like a family playing Jenga.
Right. Yeah.
And they're pulling a thing.
There you go. That's
and then
good.
now
That's
it's this. And then now it goes over to this happy family and they're playing Jenga. And then as the shit explodes on this, it switches back over and the Jenga tower fell.
I was telling you about that movie Baraka the other day. Baraka, fantastic fucking movie. Have you ever seen Baraka, Drew?
No.
It's a very high quality.
I used to play as Baraka in Mortal Kombat pretty frequently.
Yeah, same spelling. But it's a really high quality, like world ranging sort of pseudo documentary. It doesn't have any words, but it's like a lot of really good images that essentially points at the rise and fall of civilization. You know, it starts out with ancient civilizations and cool music, and then, you know, like monkeys and then tribal peoples into modern cities, and then eventually descends into more post-apocalyptic areas.
Riley
Very
and
cool.
Rachel had a lovely conversation at the beach about it, and I was completely in the dark and had no idea what they were talking
Yeah,
about.
it's really, really cool. You need to check it out. But it has this same sort of like montage capability in my head of like intercutting with like different, you know, movie would totally have like the Jenga board thing.
Yeah. I think I'd be an okay director if I were to, you know, really put my mind to it.
No.
My grandma said I could do anything I put my mind to.
Did you really?
Mm-hmm. She's a sweet lady.
Lion ass grandma.
Don't you talk about Eleanor that way. I will get violent.
Okay.
I will throw arrows and katanas at you.
Eleanor!
By the way, if this all is not enough, we also have multiple cities at this time where archaeologists have found evidence of destruction consistent with earthquakes. So, you know, not the end of the world if everything is going pretty well, but imagine you're in the midst of all this other bullshit, famine, political instability, huge migration waves, some of whom might have warriors in the mix.
Oh, most definitely.
And
one thing about warriors is they are not farmers or fishermen.
Right. And
they got to get food.
And then a massive earthquake hits.
Yeah.
That might be an overcomable obstacle in a functioning society, but in this, it's potentially a full collapse.
Well, you know why all this, like the real reason that all of this happened is they permitted homosexuality. God got mad. There you go.
Yeah.
Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve.
Oh my God. I saw that bumper sticker you put on your car. It was pretty witty stuff. Never seen anything like it. This is the point where you start seeing cities burning because sea people. This is the point in this story where you start seeing the burning and the pillaging and all that stuff in the stories of the sea people. So what I'm saying is that this accepted theory of these mysterious marauders coming from who knows where and collapsing this whole intricate society.
They were neighbors. They were people from down the way. They were, you know, the nearest group of people that were hungry.
Starvation is rampant. People naturally are desperate. If your kingdom is bordering another kingdom that is weaker than you, maybe you go for their resources.
What's the last?
If you're,
No, go ahead. Go. Sorry.
Well, and if you're a refugee on a ship and you find out that a town is on the verge of collapse, maybe you go raid them while they're weak. Every crisis helps the next one along the way.
What was the last line in the Odyssey? You said people will
boobs, butts, balls, and boners.
Dicks, butts, balls, boobs, and boners.
That's it. I got it.
The proper translation. Dickus, ballsus, ballios,
ballios, buttocks.
The last line in Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey is something like, people will sing of these events, and because there'll be no one that can read.
Oh yeah. So finally, as another piece of the tower collapses here, palaces start to collapse. Not the actual building, although probably some of those too, but like I'm talking about palace society, right? The administrative and bureaucratic center of the economy, of all of these interconnected economies, right? They handle taxes and grain storage and labor and trade and military organization and record keeping. If the palace goes down, everyone is screwed, and palace society starts to collapse because they just cannot deal with all of these crises sort of coming together in one sort of.
All illustrated in Lamb of God's second album, As the Palaces Burn, 2003.
That's what other songs are about?
That is what that album's about.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily about the Aegean Sea, but it is like the references and the dialogue is all very, very centered around, the populace around,
right. Yeah. I mean, it's tale as old as time.
Tale as old as time.
Okay, Angela Lansbury. Also around this time, the written language of Linear B disappears.
Yo, I'm Linear B. God, Dwight's gonna fucking love this episode.
This predates the Greek alphabet by centuries.
Yeah.
But this is how they kept records and everything.
Hold on a second. There was something before the Alpha and Omega?
There was. There certainly was. It's called Linear B.
Ah, yes. Linear B.
Like the language, the spoken language.
Hey, where'd all these seamen live?
What?
Right near the beach. Boy. All right, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, my God. Obviously the Greek language doesn't disappear. Greece doesn't disappear. The people don't disappear. But like the bureaucratic system that required Linear B across this entire area, this whole Eastern Mediterranean, all the records, all the correspondence was in Linear B.
Linear B is a language?
Yeah, yes. Created by the Greeks. It came after Linear A, which Linear A we've never even been able to decipher fully. Linear B we've been able to decipher. So that's how we have all these records, but it disappears. So to your point about the last line of the Odyssey, people can't read.
Fuck.
You like that, huh? For centuries after that, records, like written records, are way more scarce. It was like a total dip. And during this time, especially during this late Bronze Age, we have all these written records and stuff that we've figured out how to decipher.
This whole time period is kind of like one of my pet favorite things we talk about on the podcast. Like we were talking about the Colossus of Rhodes and how long that just sat as a ruin before it was packed off to fucking be used as metal somewhere else.
Right.
Like this whole area of once the Colossus fell, the infrastructure of the area was no longer strong enough to support putting it back up or repairing it.
Well, and
it was like the symptom, not causality.
Yeah.
So there was nobody there to repair the shit as things got hard, so it fucking fell over.
And that's sort of because the whole thing is massive civilizational collapse during the late Bronze Age. Civilization's fine. The civilization survived. The institutions disappeared. Also,
Assassin's Creed, ancient Rome. So the Assassin's Creed 2 that we were talking about,
yes,
that takes place in an ancient. The end of that and Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, I believe, are set in an ancient Rome that is in the ruins of Rome.
Right.
It's the civilization that is growing out. Like they don't know how the fuck this Colosseum got built, essentially, but they're still living in it.
It's like we mentioned, I think in the last episode, in the Middle East, like in northern Iran, when the Persians were sort of conquering, and they would get to old Assyrian temples that were already thousands of years old. What
was the capital of Assyria?
What is the capital of Assyria? I know this.
Monty Python joke.
No, dumbass. Back to the Hittites. The Hittite Empire collapses. That capital is completely abandoned.
Yeah.
Abandoned.
Well, I mean, I think that
and that's one of the most powerful states in the Near East.
I think that
it's just not there anymore.
Their culture sort of spun off into like a proto hip hop DJ culture called the Shittites.
Oh my God. Fucking I quit.
This is a Riley show now.
The Riley. Hey, it's the Riley Show with me, Riley.
You're welcome, everyone. You wanted 5 minutes of silence.
This is what you get. Yeah, but I mean, so that whole kingdom, like I said at the top, big enough to rival Egypt, just splinters. It's not conquered by anybody. It's not. There's no new successor. It just fragments and it disappears. And we start seeing this pattern everywhere down this coast.
Yeah, that Jenga block.
Like I said, Ugarit is destroyed. The correspondence from Ugarit just stops.
Well,
It just stops. Nobody hears from them.
Big civilization or a big city or a hub like Ugarit, that city falls, then everybody that supported that city, all the travelers,
like I said, a huge
the couriers,
center of commerce.
You know, like the people at the ports next door whose whole job is to travel shit to Ugarit. You know, predominantly Taco Bell.
Nothing.
But like those people no longer making
Your
money.
cart driver is Julio. Would you like to leave Julio a tip? And Ugarit is rebuilt, but it's not rebuilt the same.
Right.
It's not. It's just Ugarit falls and there's just silence, and it takes a long time for that rebuild. So the Bronze Age didn't really end. It ended, but it didn't really end. It just kind of evolved. It just kind of changed.
Also, interesting, I would say, if the Bronze Age evolved into something else, bronze is an alloy. Really hard to make. You have to have a lot of knowledge of metallurgy to be able to do this.
Yeah.
So if it turned into more of a proto-iron age,
Which it does.
it's because they lost the knowledge.
It does because
of how to do
iron
this.
is easy.
Yeah. One of the first things you
Iron
lose
is quick and easy.
One of the first things you lose in a collapse is education, because there are other things to worry about, and then because of that, you don't get the shit you need later.
And so, yeah, like I said, the civilization didn't end. That's like not at all what happened. The people survived, the communities survived, the languages survived, the religions survived, all these traditions that they had survived. The international political and economic system collapsed. So, what did we learn? No, I'm kidding. You know, in place, ultimately, over time, these new sort of entities emerge. We get, Phoenicia, Israelite, and Judite kingdoms.
I think that's Judite.
Judite, is it?
They had like a penchant for
Is it
small
like crudité?
tapas, and
It's just a little plate with like some gefilte fish and some matzah. Dip your crackers in your matzah. Here's your tiny glass of Manischewitz.
Dip your crackers in your matzah. Do you know what matzah is?
Matzah is crackers. In your matzo ball soup.
There you go.
There we go. You make the balls out of matzah.
Yeah, matzo ball soup's good.
Is it?
Yeah,
I don't think I've ever had matzo ball
If
soup.
it's done right, it's good.
Yeah, you should eat more Jew food. It's good.
Jesus Christ.
I'm not joking. It's good.
Jewish?
What would you call it?
Jewish food.
Okay.
Yiddish food. No, Yiddish is the language. Israeli food.
No.
No, because you make that in New York.
We're going to avoid that. We're going to avoid all of that. But no, you are categorically wrong on that one.
Yeah, no, Israeli food is just Middle Eastern food.
Yep.
What would I call it? Jewish food.
It's Jew food.
Tradition.
It's succinct. I like it.
Yeah.
Kosher food. Boom.
You can
Got
have,
it.
You can have kosher food that is not specifically Jew food.
True.
You can have Jew food that's not specifically kosher.
I mean, culturally Hebraic.
You
what
just
do you
said
want
it,
to go
Jew
for?
food.
Jeez, Jew food.
Jew's
not a dirty
It's already
word,
caught
bro.
on.
Oh my God. Anyway, all these
Just say Jew.
Jesus God, no.
It's fine to be a Jew. It's fine to say Jew.
What is
You just
wrong
don't
with Jew?
Just don't put any stink on it. Don't say like Jew food.
Yeah, that's how I feel about the N-word. You guys always yell at me.
Oh, all right, moving on.
I might actually cut all this.
Moving on. Fuck.
That's probably not a bad idea. So yeah, all these other, eventually all these other sort of new political entities come out of this.
Just watching Riley lose it.
There's a Neo-Hittite, there's a Neo-Anatolian, Greek, all of the Athens and all that stuff that, we know about Greek society is all post this Bronze Age.
No. Yeah, it's whatever documentation lived.
So the Mediterranean does.
So that weird little gay British boys in boarding schools could recite in Greek and then do things in Greek.
Yeah, and then be like,
saying.
the sodomy doesn't seem so bad. So the Mediterranean does.
The sodomy is an interesting concept.
Oh God. So this area does reorganize over time. And then, like I said, the Iron Age starts.
Yeah.
You know, that changes the whole equation. It's not a replacement for bronze. It's different. It's got its own challenges, but iron ore is way more widespread
Iron
than
is like
specifically the tin.
One of the more common everythings. Another more common element is like tungsten, but no one ever wanted to fucking make anything with tungsten because it's impossible.
Yeah. I mean, you know, obviously Cyprus was the big exporter of copper, but that's pretty readily available in a lot of, you know, the Mediterranean. Tin was the big factor. And so without really having all of the trade established, all these trade routes and everything to get tin, what's the fucking point of trying to make more bronze when we've got iron ore in the ground right here?
Yeah, there's a documentary about that. Billy Bob Thornton and John Cusack pushing tin. I think that's about people trying to sell tin in the ancient world, right? Angelina Jolie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. She's a tin merchant.
Yeah. Also, there's a Kevin Costner movie.
John Cusack is a tin miner.
Kevin Costner movie, Tin Cup.
About him, just the whole movie is just him forging tin and just forming this cup.
Yeah, and then there's
putting
another
a handle on it.
There's another one that's about a boy and his dog in ancient Cyprus. Rin Tin Tin.
Forming in my head, I decided it wasn't going to be funny.
And then the cop becomes
you went for it.
A centurion.
Yeah.
Rin Tin Tin, canine centurion. God damn it. I'm just going to wrap this up. So a lot of shit changes. The Mediterranean, the trade comes back eventually. It's different. It all becomes interconnected again, obviously, because that's just the way shit goes. But, you know, then you've got the Assyrians, the Persians, the Greeks, the Romans, and then shit is what it is. So what?
Delete everything podcast. Shit is what it is.
Shit is what it is, man. But I think the bigger thing to address here, the bigger question
is that he pets the dog.
That is the important part.
Certainly,
of all of this.
Certainly, vis-a-vis this being a conspiracy corner episode, is that it wasn't the sea peoples, it wasn't drought alone, it wasn't earthquakes alone, it wasn't war alone, it wasn't famine alone. It was this cascade of failures of just these things stacking.
You could say in a way that the conspiracy is that, you know, one specific group was demonized for all of this decline, when really what it was
in recent history too. This was an archaeological theory,
and what it turns out to be is, you know, the disregard of the public well-being, avarice, and you know, general lack of interest in helping those that are affected by greater calamities.
Like I said earlier, the sea people were more of a symptom of the problem than they were the cause of the problem.
It's kind of like an ailing network of like independent city
I know what
states.
you're trying to do.
What do you mean?
Huh?
Oh, you are saying that an ailing network of independent city states with very dependent trade, you know, started to fall out of the trade order as their economies collapsed. You know, like for instance, I'm from Detroit, you know, so I've been in a city that actually had an economic collapse like that.
Yep.
Right. So as more of those in this particular area did that, then, you know, the interconnectivity of these things, you know, was harder to get supplies, and people fell to infighting, and then eventually piracy and, you know, just general widespread economic collapse.
Interconnectedness creates a lot of prosperity, but it also creates some vulnerabilities too. And so the sea people weren't necessarily like these barbarians who just rode in from nowhere and destroyed civilization. They were probably, I mean, almost certainly people that were caught in the same disaster. So while some of them maybe went and joined armies of some distant kingdom, and some of them settled different areas, and some of them were just refugees until they fucking died in piss and dirt, some of them became raiders. And some of those raiders said, fuck this shit, like let's burn it to the ground. And so there were vulnerabilities. And so all these things sort of, you know, these trade networks collapsing and all this shit, on top of climate crisis, on top of earthquakes, on top of famine, on top of all this shit, just ends up sinking the whole goddamn operation.
Man, if only they still had like an emergency disaster relief fund in this area or something.
Defund it.
What?
Peeny
Vagini, everybody.
That's, oh yeah, no, that is this one. Yeah. I have to think about which one is which. Yeah. How do you feel about it?
I mean, the economic parallels to modern climate are really bothersome and telling and prophetic, even in a lot of ways.
That feels that way.
But it's like,
I'm ready.
I
Bring it.
I don't want to say on a serious note. I don't want to say
I will be a C person.
Yeah, you will.
Yeah.
An HC person. I don't. It's hot cum. I was saying I don't want to.
It's hot cum.
I don't want to let my already kind of doom and gloom perspective on the modern events to color my feelings on historical events. I think it's very, very easy to do.
I mean, things are different now. Like I said earlier, things are still interconnected in a different way.
Right now,
I don't know that makes it more difficult for the same collapse to happen. I think that it's just as capable now and here as anywhere else.
I'm trying to recognize
at any other time
academically that I am, for some reason, maybe it's just because of like my age, but I am getting a very sympathetic kind of look at like my own life and other historical events. Like I'm reading a book right now where I see a lot of parallels with my own life, and I see a lot of like historical events that are like parallel with like contemporary. So I'm trying not to color
Where
that.
the Red Fern Grows.
No, it's a Stoner by John Williams.
I know what book you're reading.
Fucking bummer. I got one chapter left. I just didn't want to do it because it's too pretty. It was fucking sad. Shit's sad, but it's good to like read on the beach and then look out over the ocean and go. Yeah, it's good. It's fun. I've been doing that a lot.
It's a nice thing.
Yeah,
we
did
did that together last weekend.
Yeah, but a lot of people did that in the Aegean circle. They're like, well, once I'm done reading this, no one will ever read it again.
There's a lot of sea to look out over.
Yeah, but like, I don't want my own perspective to be colored by current events, because a lot of current event stuff is propagandic. And but I mean, like, I've been around the country so many times now that like it's really hard not to. When I was staying in Ohio and I drove into Pittsburgh, right? I'd never been to Pittsburgh before.
Cool town.
Very fucking cool town. I'd never been there. So when I, turned a corner on the road and I see this like island mountain town with all this industry and stuff, it was like a shock to me because I didn't even really know what Pittsburgh looked like. But it was like beautiful to look at, and I was really impressed with it.
I went into the first time I went to Pittsburgh, I went in with very... How do I want to word
minimal
this?
Expectations?
Yeah, my expectations were just blue collar town.
Exactly, exactly what I went into it with.
And I spent a week in Pittsburgh, and I was like, dude, this place is not like just rough and tumble, like Budweiser and cigarettes. And
like in that,
like it was a cool place. I really enjoyed my time there.
In that area, like they're so hilly and so mountainous.
And by the way, I'll die on this hill. Pittsburgh is a cooler town than Philadelphia.
I would say that for sure. 100%.
I 100%. For me.
Yeah, I didn't. Nothing against Philly. I just don't care for it too much.
Yeah,
but like in that area and the surrounding like New England areas, it's like you can go into a new city every 100 miles or so, and it's a big fuck city, right?
Oh yeah.
So when I look at a place like Pittsburgh, that's obviously this blue collar network town on a river, and it's shipping materials out, it's mining, it's getting stuff in, like
the Allegheny.
When I think of this Aegean collapse, I think like, well, Pittsburgh goes first because like something happens and that one's shut down.
Right.
Then all of these supplies to all these other cities.
And it's sort of right on the edge of where you start heading that way.
And it's very blue collar anyway, and the people are all rough and tumble enough that I feel like they would probably fall into like a bandit territory if they had
and then they all become refugees.
Yeah, they're river people, shit like that. But like with that collapse, then like a bunch.
Before you know it, they're taking over Akron.
That's fucking Akron and Cleveland are all going to collapse too because they're not getting their materials.
Cincinnati's already collapsed. So that's basically a done deal.
I think of this Aegean situation, that's what I think of, like essentially what they would have thought of as one big country kind of at the time, with differences in cities, but like one goes, another one's going to struggle, and that's going to lead to more collapse. And so it's really hard not to see these parallels in action.
Well, especially if one of those collapses and that is any sort of driver for any sort of import export, whatever. I mean, and they were all interconnected. So it's like one struggles and now everybody kind of feels the hit on that because everybody's sort of, it's the house of cards and everything's all leaning on one another. So like you pull one of those cards and maybe the second card lands on one of the other ones and kind of props up for a second, but it's not going to be long before it beep and it falls too.
What is that movie? Checkmate.
I have no
Somebody
idea.
says checkmate. It's like a big moment.
You started going and I thought we were watching 60 Minutes.
No, it's like Inception or something like.
I don't know.
Oh.
Drew, you've said like 3 words in the last 2 hours. What are your final thoughts?
Don't.
Drew changed out of his bathrobe and he's wearing
I did.
what appears to be.
It's a bathing suit.
Independence Day with Jeff Goldblum.
Yay, we did it.
He says checkmate as the numbers wind down, and he says checkmate, and then the fucking the beams open up and all like the big like this the Empire State Building and the White House, everything is blown up by the big energy beam.
Huh,
Yeah.
Cool. Closing thoughts? Do you have some? Do you care? Are you
Care
sleepy?
A little bit. I don't know. I've just been listening,
Okay.
casually interjecting. I mean, yeah, I'm with Riley. I think there's a lot of parallels to things that are happening now. I think that it's interesting that a lot of current economic problems are centered around a waterway.
Yep.
Just like
Here's my question.
not the Aegean.
Do you
but
think that if everything
The Colorado River you're talking about?
No. The newly declared U.S. territory, apparently, according to Mr. Poopy Pants,
Oh yeah.
the Strait of Hormuz.
Yes. There's a lot going on around
Jesus
that.
Christ. Do you think that
I'm sorry, President Poopy Pants.
if our systems collapsed today, Systems Collapsed, my sugar album, if our systems collapsed today in 3,000 something years, 3,500 years from now, archaeologists found the remains of here, who do you think would be the scapegoat? Who do you think would be our sea peoples?
How many years?
3,300 ish.
There wouldn't be anything left of us.
There will be archaeological evidence.
Buddy, you ever seen a house abandoned around here for a year?
Yeah, we don't build like that.
Nothing,
Right, sure, but
none of what we
okay.
have here is going to last.
Okay.
Didn't you ever play The Last of Us?
There will
That
be,
was like 10
there will
years.
be zero archaeological evidence. There will be no
No,
books, no
not
writings,
zero.
no.
Not in Florida? Not in Florida, dude.
I mean,
I'm not even
Florida
joking.
might not even be a
I
thing.
said
It
the
probably won't be a thing by
systems
then.
of the United States collapse.
Oh, in general? So like maybe
Yeah.
in Colorado?
Coastal elites?
Well,
Is that
okay,
who they're going to liberal coastal elites? It was their fault.
All right, so when the cyclones come down to Denver and they find the last man animals,
Mhm.
I'm still mad at you for making me watch that.
watch what? So when I read the book, this is Battlefield Earth by Lafayette Ron
Fucking
Hubbard.
liar.
So the man animals,
Lafayette Ron.
they'll be able to go through the libraries and quickly discover the Bill of Rights or something. Whatever the fuck's going on in that scene.
in literally like 2 days.
And he's like, there was America. And
They'll learn to fly
he's
fighter
like,
jets
There
in
was
2
an
days.
America. There was an America, and then Kim Coates has got to learn to fly a fighter jet,
they'll understand how to fly fighter jets immediately.
and it will become
Space
How to
technology.
hover
it'll-
fighter jets
they're-
that don't.
and then they're gonna
never
have
mind.
like
that have no VTOL.
some
but
sort
whatever.
of a
And they'll go, what's
don't know,
this
like-
red button?
we'll call it like a conflict planet or something, like a big fight area
What do I think? I think
or Earth.
the collapse is coming, but just for people like us. And the billionaires are setting up systems to where it won't affect them.
You know what I think?
I think everyone's overreacting. I think everything's fine. Shut up.
I think you're in denial.
I think we got a big old ocean we can walk into, so I'm not that worried about it.
Well, guys, if you like this episode, the best thing you can do to tell us is get on whatever you're listening to, whatever podcast platform you're streaming on. Give us 5 stars if it allows. Give us 10 stars if it allows. Cram our asses full of stars. If you're on Apple Podcasts, write us a review. We don't care what it says. Write whatever you want. Give us a cannelloni recipe. If you are on Spotify, do a comment. Do a comment. You can see it afterward. You can write a comment, and then you can go and you can go, there's my comment. And then like a month later, you'll see a comment from me or Drew or Riley. Maybe a week later. I don't know how long it takes. Sometimes it takes less time than other
we
times.
call them comments around here.
Oh boy. I don't need this in my life. Also, check us out on Instagram at Delete Everything Podcast, on YouTube at Delete Everything Podcast, and come see our Patreon. We send photos now every day in the group chat in our Patreon. There's a whole chat app where you can talk to us every single fucking day, and you get weekly episodes. Every single week we release a what, Riley?
Boners episode.
A boners episode. It's a play on the word bonus. You get it? You guys get it?
But it's boners.
But it's boners because dicks.
Dicks, butts, balls, boobs, boners, everybody.
Patreon.com/Delete Everything Podcast. You will get 90 plus boners episodes with new ones every single week. And
That's
you get
a lot of boners.
And you get a chat feature where you get to see photos of us and talk to us in real
God
time
damn it.
every single fucking time
I
you
just
want
realized on this fucking Shock Jock radio show, I'm the gooch.
to. Yeah, you are.
Fuck.
Yeah, you are.
You're the gooch everywhere you go, buddy.
Gooch life. Anyway, we'll see you next week, guys. Bye.
Bye.
I was here too. Bye.
People need content.